Welcome to another beginner tutorial with VERTMASTER in 3ds Max 2023. I am glad that I can now make updated beginner tutorials with voiceover instead of the ones that I have that are sped up and have only soundtrack. The toilet video is the second most watched video on this channel and you guys loved it, so I've decided to make an updated version of it from scratch. This is going to be a kind of short series or a short free course, as you may call it, and we'll cover everything from the basics in few videos. We will start with setting up the references for the model, we will cover modeling techniques and unwrapping, we will use preset physical materials, we will make a small scene setup, and we will finally make some simple renders with Arnold which you could include in your portfolio. So without any further ado, let's get to it. In this video we will set up the references properly so we can start with modeling. First of all, I will have included an G drive link with the reference so you can download it and work through this course. Before you do anything else, get the reference from the descriptions down below. Please keep in mind that this is not a total beginner tutorial, and it is expected to at least know the interface of 3ds Max. I will try and keep note of everything I do so you can follow every step, and I hope you will find these videos very helpful. Let's get it. Okay guys, so let's get to setting up the references. First of all, what we need to do is to set the material. So go into the material editor. I'm using the Slate material editor, of course, and we're going to pull out a standard legacy material in the view right here. If in any case you don't have the scanline material shown in your 3ds Max, be sure to go into this arrow and select show incompatible and make sure that this is checked. That way 3ds Max will show the scanline materials because they are outdated now. So after we've done that, we'll take the material editor and right into the diffuse color map box we need to put a map. So click on this square right here and proceed to go into the general tab, select bitmap and click OK. After that, select your reference and click open. So now we have set our material. After that, we need to create a plane. We are going to maximize our viewport so we can clearly see what's going on, and set the object or the plane into the center of the world. Right. After that, click M to go into the material editor, select the material and click on this button to assign the material to the selection. So now we can see that we have some stretching, and in order to fix that stretching we need to see the actual dimensions of the image. So we're going to navigate into the image info, and here we have size info, which we will copy and use it for our plane. So the plane width should be 62.5 centimeters, and the length should be 20.84 centimeters. So now we have the correct image ratio. After that, make sure that the length and the width segments are set to 1. When we've done that, proceed to convert the object to editable poly. Now, be sure that you have the edged faces selected. Select the Swift Loop tool, and now we need to add loops. So now we are going to treat this object like we are going to make 4 separate images out of it. So where we add the loop, that's where the image will end. So we're going to put the loop here, somewhere around here and maybe here. So now we have our images that we will use. Now we can go ahead and rename this like maybe D_all, stands for dimension all. Then after that we are going to select polygon selection. We will not need this last polygon, so we're just going to delete it by pressing delete. And we are going to make a copy out of this object. So before we do anything, we're going to select the object and click on this icon right here to create a new layer and put it in the new layer, which we will name dimensions, so we can have clearly more idea of what's going on in the scene. Before you do anything else, make sure that you have set the default layer active by clicking on this icon right here, and you'll see that it will be highlighted. So whenever you create an object, it will be put in that layer and not in this one. Now we're going to make a copy by pressing Ctrl V, select copy. We are going to name it D_top and click OK. Then after that, we're going to go into the polygon selection, select this polygon with the front image, detach it, rename it D_front and click OK. Then select this polygon, again detach, D_side and press OK. And now we have the three images that we will use as references. So now we can proceed, and we can firstly, and this is very important, we need to first set the top reference. So we are going to hide these two references by selecting them and clicking on this eye right here. We are going to select this object, then we're going to go into the hierarchy tab, we're going to select effect pivot only, select center to object so it will center the pivot, and then deselect effect pivot only. Now we're going to set the object to the center of the world, and as we can see, it is not perfectly centered as we want it to. So we're going to pull it down a bit just so we can clearly see the lines of the grid, and we are going to go from the top view right now. And right now from the top view we can center the object more clearly. So go ahead and center it. It doesn't have to be so perfect, you know, anything will do. Just make sure that you put it up back on the Z-axis when you're done. So then go ahead and convert it to editable poly, and you are done with the top reference. Now we are going to proceed with the front reference. Of course, we're going to select it, go into hierarchy tab, select effect pivot only, center to object, deselect the pivot only, and now we are going to press A on our keyboard to enable angle snap toggle, for which I have a separate video on my channel. Be sure to watch it so you can clarify the things about angle snap toggle. And we are going to go into the rotate mode and rotate it for 90 degrees like this. After that, select the move tool and set it to the center of the world. So now we need to set the front reference to correspond with the top reference. So we are going to pull it up a bit so we can have this top of the ball view. So we can see that this is the widest point of the ball, right? And if we go into the top viewport by pressing T, we can zoom in and press F3 to show the default shading. Now we can see that these points right here on the top reference are the most farthest or the most widest, so we're going to set some the front reference somewhere here, and then if we rotate it we can see that we are almost there, so we just need to move it up a bit like this, and now both of the references correspond with each other. So now after we've done it, we will pull the reference up and we will make sure that it is set where the bottom of the reference ends, like this. So after that, press S on the keyboard to go into the to enable snaps toggle, and also be sure to watch the videos the video that I have for snaps toggle, so you can clarify things about snapping also. And go ahead and snap it to the back vertices of the top reference. After that, we are going to do the same with the side reference, so we're going to select it, go into the hierarchy tab, affect pivot only, center to object, affect pivot only, deselect, then rotate it for 90 degrees on the z-axis and then 90 degrees on the x-axis, then move it right to the center. We're going to put it up a bit so we can see the furthest point in the front, and we will move it to the front, something like this. I think this will do, this will be okay. So after this we are going to pull it up just like we did with the other reference, set it with the bottom on this reference, and with snaps toggled we're going to snap it right here, or maybe it will be better if it's on this reference. So now we have two more things that we need to do. So in order to do them, we need to take all these three objects and convert them to editable poly. Take the top, make sure that you take the top reference, and you will attach both of the other references on it, so it will be one object, right? Now we need to enable backface culling. Backface culling is when you go around the object, you will be able to see through these objects. So when we navigate somewhere around here, when we work on our model, we won't get interfered with the other objects. So in order to do so, select the object, right click and go into object properties, and select under display properties, select backface cull and press OK. Now you see that the boxes, the planes actually will disappear. So make sure that you convert to editable poly again, and now we will make a box. So this box, let's just make it like 10 by 10 by 10 for now, and set it in the center of the world, of course. And right here we have the width dimension, so we're going to put this dimension but in centimeters, of course. So the width is 49.4 centimeters. So now if you can see this, the actual dimension does not correspond with the references, so we will need to scale the references. In order to do so, we are going to select the box, go into the object properties and select see-through, then click OK. So that will make the box see-through, so we can clearly see this line and we can align it with the ends of the box. So press F to go into the front viewport, then zoom in and press F3 to go into default shading. Press R to take the scale and uniform tool, and then then make sure that you have the references selected and proceed to scale them something like this. So when it's something like this, so let's see, we have something mixed up maybe. Yes, we've moved the object somewhere, never mind. But if we proceed, make sure that we move the object like something like this, and then we will scale it. So try and make those lines to correspond with the box that you've just made. After that, you can just delete the box and proceed with the model. Now, as we have set these references, we won't be moving them anymore, so make sure that you set the pivot. So go ahead and into the hierarchy tab, select affect pivot only. Make sure that you have the select and move tool selected. Get the pivot into the center of the world by putting 0 in all axes. Then you will deselect affect pivot only, reset the transform and the scale, go into the utilities tab, select reset X form and select reset selected. After that, right click and convert to editable poly. So now we are done with our reference images, and we can start modeling the model in the next video. Thank you for watching.